Hi, this is Anas Shiraz. I am an embodiment coach for dating and relationship for strong and independent women and a course leader for therapeutic dances. You might have noticed so far that I am quite passionate about the topic of emotions and with a very main message of it's very important to feel the feelings and not suppressing them, which at the same time doesn't mean to act based on feelings. And we had a whole series on emotional reactivation, how I can deal and regulate them. The main thing about emotions, and also one of the important reasons why we have to feel the feeling, is actually what we resist, persist. I love this sentence because it really works. It's a wisdom. What you try to get rid of, it will come back always and always again. So there must be a different approach if you really want to calm yourself down or try not to trigger your anger or your frustration or your disappointment. So that is an abstract. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about really all the feelings? I would love to talk about one of them, which are one of those icky feelings. And let's say jealousy, which is for some couples quite relevant topic. Have you ever feel jealous? And what is your relationship with jealousy, and what do you usually do when you feel jealous? I would love to talk about that. It's like recently it happened something which is very interesting. My partner and I went back to social dancing after the COVID. Yay, finally. So we have waiting way longer. We went to dance classes, like they are social dances. And last week, because we have a toddler with a little child at home, so we decided that he does the first hour of the day in class and I take care of the little one, and then we switch because we couldn't find a nanny. And while I was with my 3 years old watching my partner starting to dance in the dance class, so my son has got jealous. So once he saw that his dad is dancing with another woman, he started to shout and cry, and he was telling me that dad is not supposed to dance with the other woman. He should let her go, he should not dance, and that was a really traumatic reaction. So I needed really to take him out of the class. And I remember it was actually the same way. Even he was jealous when I and my partner were dancing together, and he wanted to be the only one dancing with a dad. So it was more about I want him all for myself. So, and was making a good exception for me just because I'm his mom. So I'm now allowed to dance with his dad, but no other women. So that story brought me to think a little more about the background. Why do we feel jealous? And babies, apparently even babies from the age of 4 months old, can experience the feeling of jealousy. So what is the sense of it? Why do we feel jealous, especially like in a very early age? That is quite clear because all of our survival, our life is dependent on our caregivers, and then they are everything for us. So we want them to be for us. So because our existence is dependent, and we are very dependent baby animals. So this is quite clear, and also come the fear of loss sometimes in that, and fear of separation and everything in that early age. Later on, in the youth, when we are teenagers, there might be also even coming more aspects of beliefs which makes us jealous. For example, the thoughts of I'm not good enough, maybe, or I'm not attractive enough, or another person is way more successful in attracting men or attracting women, or So this will sometimes even be added in our history before we even become adults. So, and these stories, old stories, and some are very combined with pains and bad experiences, can get triggered once also we are adults and in relationship, and even when we feel safe. But sometimes we get jealous if our partner show attention or anything else to another woman. So how to deal with that? So, and how is it going hand in hand with, like, when I say like feel the feelings, does it mean that I really need to feel the jealousy as well? And it's icky. I don't want to feel that way quite often, right? So, or you think that your partner is the cause of your feeling of jealous, which I just try to explain you that usually your partner might be triggering that sense inside you. And it's a complex feeling. It's way more complex than like just like sad, mad, or fearful. It's the jealousy is a very complex feeling with a lot of facets, and the more complexity of the shame or guilt or fear of loss or low self-esteem. So it's a multi-layered feeling. Having that said, so how to deal with the jealousy as an adult? Well, if we have some older stories as with our past, is that a little child or as a youth, so we still have an inner child inside us, or an inner teenager, which doesn't feel safe in many of the situations. It is getting triggered. So the approach will be very similar to how I have to deal with my toddler, with my son. So there's one of very good models is from Tara Brach, is called RAIN. It's actually can be applied in every emotion, but that's R is for recognize. Really recognize, okay, I'm jealous, and recognize it in your thoughts. What are you thinking while you're getting jealous? Recognize it in your emotion. How does it make you feel? Really, what does the jealousy mean to you? And also recognizing your body. So how does your body react in those situations? A is for accept. So, and this is a big one. So not fighting it, I don't want to feel that way. It's just really first thing, all right, I'm jealous, which doesn't mean necessarily I behave. And jealousy is more internal process. I is for investigate. The same way, like when my little one would feel jealous, I also would like to, maybe he has a good point. Maybe if he would have like a sibling, maybe I do some discriminating behavior regarding a sibling. So maybe he has a good reason. So then investigating, but with openness and curiosity, hearing from the inner child, or in this case from my son. So what is it? What exactly would say why it feels unsafe and jealous? So again, like the investigating would be on different layers of like, what is the narrative I'm saying what's happening now? And what are my feelings and body sensations and the relationship? And last but not least is N is for non-identification. That is the higher goal. So if we can really separate us and being in an observing adult role and observing, okay, that's me and this is my jealousy, and I will see my jealousy, hear to him, learn from it, but I'm not jealousy. So this says I can manage to have a separation and non-identification. So I'm still the one who is in charge and very loving and accepting observer to all of my emotion, in this case jealousy. So summarizing shortly, so jealousy is, first of all, is also a very normal feeling that many people experience it from the childhood even. That's the first thing we just talked about. Jealousy is usually get triggered. So there are some older stories or old fears and then it can get triggered by something's happening or by a thought you're having. So maybe I'm not as attractive as that girl talking to my partner, is a thought only. So it can get triggered, but is not happening necessarily in the present moment, is an older story which needs listening and healing. And how you can approach that feeling is not really resisting it, but accepting it, recognizing and accepting it, investigating very, very openness and gentle and love, and trying to not getting identified and associate with that, just like having a distance, and be able to keep the control on having the choice for your behavior. Have a beautiful time. See you next time.